The war in Iran reached day 69. Nice. And terrible. As of this taping, we still don't know how Iran's response to Trump's one-page peace offer will be, but we do know the White House is desperate for a deal before the midterms. In a recent poll, neighbor's Subaru. Yeah. Oh, how often I've sucked a Subaru. Businesses are also being hurt. Today, we got a warning that continued supply chain disruptions could push costs higher from the CEO of McDonald's. This man did not work hard enough for peace. He could lose his 10-piece. So folks are feeling the pain, but there's a bright side. According to Trump economic advisor and guy the neighbor said was always so quiet and kept to himself, Kevin Hassett. Hassett went on the
banks in my office yesterday going through the credit card data, and just as Secretary Bessent said, credit card spending is through the roof.
Yes, things are great. Credit card spending is through the roof. Bottle collection has become very popular. Sales of scratchers have skyrocketed, and there's never been a better time to start a career as a bus station jig house event celebrating Mother's Day. Trump trotted out a new euphemism.
We're in a, I call it a skirmish, because that's what it is. It's a skirmish.
Yeah, it's just a little skirmish. No big deal. America gets in lots of fights with cute names. In fact, my uncle never came home.
And by sea, by ocean, by the water, you know, a lot of people say, what do you mean by sea? Is it sea, like vision? No, it's sea, S-E-A.
Okay. I guess it is good to always be clear about what you mean. That's why Paul Revere famously said, one if by land, two if... Oh, it's here like H-E-R-E, and I died. Not D-Y-E-D, but D-I-E-D. Did that come across? Go fast? All right. One guy who is making Trump mad these days is Pope Leo over relations with the Vatican by sending Secretary of State and non-player character in a video game about celibacy, Marco Rubio. According to the two sides, the meeting went okay, and they exchanged gifts. Pope Leo gave Rubio a pen made out of olive wood, with Pope Leo saying olive being, of course, the plant of peace. I smell re-gift. Pope, they got it with their Sports Illustrated. It came with their Sports Illustrated. Yeah. Pope Leo, he likes to have fun. He's a fun pope, and that goes for the people around him. For instance, the other day...
Iran fired on 3 American warships tonight. We fired back. The ceasefire that Trump declared and complete victory lasted less than 48 hours. Operation Trust Me, Bro failed. That is the official statement from the Iranian parliament, and the White House response was to call it a love tap. 3 American warships were fired on in an active military conflict, and the president characterized it as a love tap because he has already declared victory and cannot walk that back without admitting he was wrong. So the war continues and the vocabulary shrinks. War, military operation, military conflict, mini-war, skirmish, excursion. The words keep getting smaller as body count and the bill keep getting larger. Cash Patel is suing The Atlantic for $250 million for reporting that he drinks too much. Then The Atlantic published a second story reporting that he hands out personalized whiskey bottles as gifts to colleagues. The FBI has zero tolerance policy on alcohol misuse. Patel's response to being investigated for drinking was to order 24 members of his own staff to take polygraph tests to find out who reported him. The director of FBI is in panic mode, trying to find out who told the truth about him. That is the state of American law enforcement right now. And the Epstein files are still buried. Fox News went on air and told viewers to get over themselves and move on. The war or skirmish or excursion or love tap, whatever it is being called this week, has successfully kept those files off the front page for 10 weeks. Howard Lutnick testified for 4 hours and remembered nothing despite his name appearing 240 times in the documents. Commerce Secretary brought his children to Island and cannot explain why. The Attorney General refuses to release the files and Fox News says, get over it. The narrative is in this week is that the Iran conflict was not as bad as the Civil War. That is what winning looks like in week 10. And we, as taxpayers, are giving everything and saving up money to pay taxes, to buy stuff for our children, our loved one, and they're just spending our money to a nonsense war. I said they, but I'm sorry, he is doing it actually. And there's no one else around him to tell him that he's doing something wrong. Sorry for saying something again. Everything wrong, because they're too scared to tell him. And we're living the results of his actions.